I'm Ashley Meyer. I teach at Westridge Middle School, and I am an 8th grade math teacher. Educators change the world by we create the opportunities for kids to know what they want to do in life. And so when we talk about a job, or today I talked about investing, or just being able to give children the opportunities to hear from a different perspective and hear about, oh my gosh, I could be an archaeologist, I could be a paleontologist, I could go on and be even a financial advisor. Like, they're like, oh, I really like math and I like money and I want to earn a lot of money. Like, I could be a financial advisor. We teach every career. And so that's something that I think is really cool, is that we, as teachers, we are able to educate every single person, every single student in the US or in Grand Island, Nebraska, to be who they want to become. So I think that's an awesome thing that we get the opportunity to do that no one else gets to do. Like, I get inspired, honestly, every single day. I've talked more recently to them about how compassionate they are. Like, I am not the most emotional, touchy-feely type person, and sometimes they kind of like remind me, like, hey, like, we gotta be like, think about how they're feeling in this situation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are right. And so, like, the empathy and the compassion that they show for each other, that many of them show for each other, amazes me. How they're learning that at 13 and 14 years old. I'm like, I don't think I had that amount of empathy when I was 14. And so it's very cool to see if someone's going through a struggle, or during our cougar time, like our homeroom lessons, they are so good about seeing things in everybody else's perspective. Something I think we take for granted is that it's free. Like, getting your kids to come to this safe environment every single day, with teachers who care about them and who want them in their classrooms. It's just something that I think that some of us take for granted, that a lot of other countries or places do not have. And then another thing is that I wish people understood how much time we do spend with their kids, and sometimes, often, we are spending more times with their kids than they get with them. Like parents and guardians, like, we spend more time than they do sometimes in the evenings. And so it's crazy to think, like, I will spend more time with that child than sometimes my own in a weekday. And so I think that's something that people might not realize, like, hey, we spend 8 hours with your kids, and then we only spend 2 hours with my daughter before she goes to bed. So that's something that I think we might take for granted as well, even though I appreciate the opportunity to get to teach and have hundreds of kids. I always call them my kids when I get home. So for sure, having the ability to teach hundreds of kids and call them my own, and then honestly spending sometimes more time with them than my own children. Instruction means how I'm presenting what the kids need to be learning. So whether that's like getting up and doing white books, like my kids know, like, okay, we're gonna do white books today. So then they get markers and they get to go up to each different white book and walk around. That's instruction, is them instructing each other sometimes, like, hey, this is how we solve this problem. And then coming back together and being like, okay, this group, wonderful job. Like, giving them the opportunity to try the problem or the problems, and then coming back to them and letting them almost teach each other is instruction. And then also sometimes it's more one-on-one, like, okay, we gotta do this step, this step, this step. Like, my algebra kids just finished quadratic equation, and so that was something that was like super eye-opening. So it's kind of straightforward, and I teach them how to type in the calculator and all that stuff. So instruction has a lot of different components. There's a lot of things to it. I am a difference maker.